Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Hey friends, it's Jen McKee, your host of the Kee To Growth Podcast. If you're a home service leader who's ready for bigger growth, stronger leadership, and more visibility in 2026, listen up. I'm hosting something brand new. The Growth Experience is a powerful 2-day conference happening right here in my hometown of San Antonio, Texas. This event is designed for you if you are an owner or leader who wants to scale smarter with profit-first financial clarity, stronger leadership and sales systems, real operational efficiency, how to use AI tools, and of course, modern marketing visibility that actually works. You're going to learn from incredible speakers, connect with the brightest minds in the trades, and walk away with strategies you can use immediately in your business. VIP spots will even get full content capture experience in two deep dive workshops on confidence, leadership, and storytelling. Tickets officially go on sale January 8th if you have saved your seat on the waitlist. Waitlist gets first access, best pricing, and early VIP access. So go to thegrowth-experience.com to get on the list. Trust me, this is a room you're going to want to be in. March 30th through April 1st, 2026 in San Antonio, Texas. See you there. Welcome back, everyone, to the Kee To Growth Podcast. Listeners, you're in for such a real treat today. I am super, super excited to have the CMO of Bone Dry Roofing here, Matt Tyner. Matt, if people don't know who you are, tell them more about you.
Yeah, totally. So 15 years in the home services space, specifically geared towards the marketing side. So my background has been in HVAC plumbing, and now for the last 2 years, it's been roofing. So I'm ecstatic to be a part of this team here at Bone Dry Roofing. Great company with great people. We have about 18 locations, $200 million in revenue. But we're just here, just like everyone else, to serve the community.
I'm super excited to talk to you about roofing marketing, but I'm curious about how you got into the trades.
Yeah. So my senior year at Butler for college, I was doing a year-long internship at Delta Faucet Company on their retail marketing team. And it was right after the housing bubble and all that crashed. So it was 2010. They were still on a hiring freeze from 2008 when everything happened. So did not have a job with them from that. However, both of my supervisors there recommended me to a company, Habegger Corporation, which is one of the largest independent distributors of HVAC equipment in the U.S. Recommended me there, and I went to be on the e-commerce team and the territory sales, and then ended up getting into the HVAC space that way. And it's just evolved from there.
Like, that's so different than what you're doing now. But I also think there's so much to learn because sales and marketing are friends. And of course, like territory sales, you're probably having to build a lot of relationships.
Yeah, I would say there's such a massive alignment between sales and marketing, right? A lot of it's psychology, right? How to interact, how to build relationships, how to maintain them, how to optimize them. So I would say it really helped me out by being on the sales side before going into the marketing directly, just to be able to understand, okay, what do customers really want? Yeah, I was more on the B2B side of things.
Yeah.
People are people at the end of the day. So, when you uncover that, really, they just want their pain points addressed. They want life to be as easy as possible, and they want peace of mind in everything they do. And once you identify that, the correlation between sales and marketing is a perfect fit.
Yeah, I agree. And even like B2B and B2C, it's just people. Like it's all.
I like to make it seem cool and overcomplicated, but at the end of the day, people are people.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so selfishly, I'm so interested in this, but I also think that it is I mean, people that listen to this podcast, like we also hear from people in floor coating and
You're right.
duct cleaning and pressure washing. So there's all different types of home services that are listening. But like, is there a big difference in marketing between HVAC and plumbing and roofing? Like as far as the strategy goes or how you get customers to convert?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a ton of differences. Really, where it comes down to is that sales conversion rate, right? I'm used to the HVAC side. I knew when I brought in a lead, I knew within 3 days what revenue it converted into, whether we installed a new system or we repaired it, or even if we turned it over from repair to replacement and had to sell and install. It was generally within 3 days. So you had a really clean revenue conversion cycle. Whereas as in the roofing space, if insurance is involved, if things are, we're going through the process of picking colors, all of this, it can be anywhere between a month to 3 months at times before a lead comes in and when you're actually putting on that roof. And I'd say that's the biggest difference, because then you're, from a marketing perspective, you've really got to nurture people, right? You've got to come alongside them each step of that journey.
Yeah.
And that's really where it's kind of been fun in the roofing space, while it makes the revenue attribution a little bit more of a headache.
Right.
From the conversion cycle, it definitely helps. It makes it more fun because you're able to do more with each of those different steps, right? Create automations and make sure you're communicating with them that, hey, it's time to pick colors, this or that. It's kind of cool because it gives you more time to work with as a marketer. But there are some differences, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're just trying to build trust.
Yeah. Okay. That is so interesting and brings up kind of a lot of questions for me.
Yeah.
One of them that I really want to dig into, just from being at some events recently and talking to roofers, and so many of them, especially as they're growing and scaling, are trying to get less warranty work and more just customers. So how do you navigate that? And what are some good practices for them?
Yeah, so I would say, so when you say warranty, really around the insurance side of things, I would expect. And
right. Yeah. Exactly. It's insurance.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Insurance and home warranties, same thing.
Actually, the insurance is so much better than home warranties from my own experience.
There's some stories we could probably share.
Yeah.
When you look at it from an insurance perspective, that's completely transactional or more transactional, right? Their relationship is housed with the insurance company. You're coming alongside as a provider of services for that insurance company. We do the bulk of our large bulk of our business is retail.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we know that we can't be reliant on a storm coming through town. We want to be someone that, we're not going to be the company that just goes city to city to city and then we're gone, right? One of our things when a storm hits is like, we're going to be here after the storm. And we're going to take care of customers, and we're typically that repair company when something goes wrong. But what I would say the big difference is you create a brand. You create a brand that connects with your customers so that when they need something that may not be a referral from an insurance company, that people know your name, that people want to do business with you, right? Because at the end of the day, no one wants to pay for a new roof. No one wants a new HVAC system. No one wants to buy a new water heater, right? They're not exciting and fun things to buy. But what we want people to know is that when that uncertainty comes into their life, that we're the company to trust.
Yeah.
We're the brand they know. We're the ones that their neighbors are referring to them, right? That they've seen our commercials talking about trust, that they've seen our social media engagement, and they understand what we're about as a company because we've peppered in this information in our story over time. So I would say the big part of that is really creating a brand and a sticky process. What we call the bone dry experience is what people feel when they do business with us, and what we do to get them to feel like that when they're doing business with us. So, really focusing on those customer touch points, making sure that we're not pushy from a sales perspective, that we're educational, that we're just really trying to build something. I would say our goal is to build something special, right?
Yeah.
That customers, when they do need to do something with their roof, that they happen to call us.
Yeah.
And I would say that's the biggest difference from your insurance companies or people that may be, labeled the storm chasers, whatever. I would say that's the biggest difference is really creating a sustainable brand in the marketplace.
So how are you guys doing that? And I want this to kind of be two things, because I know you can tell us from a broad standpoint, but at the same time, you have how many markets? I didn't write it down. 18 markets. And so to build a brand in 18 markets is a heavy job.
Yep. Yeah. So there are tools that are available to us. First off, we have our customer base, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have our customer base that we've worked with over the last 36 years. Those are people that we can keep interacting with and telling our story, because ultimately they're going to be referring their friends and families to us. So you constantly want to be engaging with them. We don't sell to them. Like we're not the ones that are going to send a mass text message trying to sell them something, but we will send them an email. We will maybe give them a happy call, see how everything's going with their roof. Mm-hmm. We're going to be genuine in our interactions and how we want to be seen in the marketplace. Even if you end up on one of our landing pages, we're trying to be more educational. We're trying to be that trustworthy contractor, because we realize we want their decision to not be made on a landing page. We want the decision to be made beforehand, right? So you've got the sales funnel, and everyone focuses on digital, right? We're on the customer acquisition. The beautiful part about top of mind is it's layered up here. Mm-hmm. So if you get them here, your chance of being able to skip this step, this really expensive step of digital customer acquisition, if you're building the brand and you get them here, that's going to make that lead so much more valuable to your company.
Right.
But it's not easy to do, right? We do have to invest in things like TV, eventually radio, OTT, billboards, right? Because you really have to be peppering them with this information. But if you're a smaller contractor, which I know a lot of the customers, I believe I saw on your recent post was, up to that $10 million range, right? Mm-hmm. What is today's traditional advertising, right? It's social media. Mm-hmm. Right? That's how a lot of people are getting their messaging over, depending on what the age group is, all that fun stuff. But you can do a lot of the similar things us as a large company are doing with broadcast TV, OTT, and billboards. You can do a lot of that with social media. And because we understand that we've got to be fostering this next generation of purchasers along the customer journey, so that when it comes time that they're ready to buy something, we're there. Yeah. And so I would encourage people to really be building their brand. If they don't have the budget to be doing the expensive mass media stuff, really being able to focus on the social media channels and really focus on building a brand. Don't just try to throw out ads. Here's our financing offer. Here's this or that. Ads are important. They work. But build something even more special to the customer, right? Tell your story. Talk about what you're doing in the community. Talk about what makes your process different. We don't have trade secrets. Like, no one has trade secrets. What we do as a roofing company, anyone can do as a roofing company, right? Yeah. Talk about why you focus so much on core pieces of that journey and how that makes you different from the competition. And so I just think there are so many tools out there to be able to help you build into the market. And we'll do different ones at different times for different regions, right? We may be down in Florida where it may be snowbird season. So you're going to have more revenue from your October timeframe up until March, up to May, when the snowbirds are flying home. Yeah. There are different things that you need to take into consideration per market. That's one thing that I've loved is getting out to. I'm trying over these last 2 months, trying to get to every location that we have. Yeah. And just understand the market. It's kind of weird. I'll walk into the office and I'll say, all right, let's get in a truck. Yeah. Let's go visit a job site. I want to see what we're doing. I want to see that quality. I want to be able to experience that firsthand and be able to see the work that the team's doing to make sure that we're providing that peace of mind, right? Because marketing sets the promise. They make the promise. Operation upholds it. And so just making sure that, that is being done and celebrating with them, the awesome job that they're doing. But then, my next thing is, let's drive around town. I want to drive. I want to drive through good, bad, and different parts of town. I want to understand geographical areas, because I can get most of the data online. We have plenty of census data to be able to make decisions of, okay, hey, here's where we would probably target. But getting into the community and seeing it, and seeing what opportunities there are, seeing how involved maybe the Little League sports are, whether, some communities, soccer is bigger than baseball, baseball is bigger than football. It all depends.
Yeah.
So just being able to get out into the market is just really fun. So when you talk about the different, doing the marketing for 18 different locations, so much of it is just getting in there, understanding what the market is, understanding what's working, what's not, talking with the general manager of that market, and then just creating a strategy to be able to build that trust and engage well in the community.
Key Heart Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. What have you seen that everybody's doing in the community that anyone could do? And then tell me about some really cool things that some of your markets have done.
Yeah. So things that you can do easily, right? Look at the youth sports. People love seeing and love doing, getting the involvement in the youth sports, right? Whether it be doing sponsorships so that you have your logo on the fence or something of that nature, right? My kids, we sponsor their local youth baseball league, and they love it when we walk by the Bone Dry Roofing signs. At the ballpark, it's like, Daddy, Bone Dry Roofing. They're things that we're just trying to do, connect to the positive emotions and positive experiences people are having in their day-to-day life. That's what we're trying to do. Looking at parades, I'm not as big of a fan of going to festivals and things of that nature, because I feel like oftentimes the vendor area where people are and then the experiential areas that people go to are often disconnected. So you're not creating that positive, that positive experience and link to that. But those are simple things that anyone can do. Anyone can get a trailer in a parade. Anyone can, be able to go out and do those types of things. But some of the fun stuff that we've done, we've got the dog Otis on our logo. And so here recently, we've been really connecting with the humane societies across our location. So we'll do microchipping events here in Indianapolis. We'll have 400 cars drive through our warehouse, and they'll stop in the center and they'll get their dog microchipped, or we'll have an adoption event and 50 dogs find new homes where people can come into our warehouse, see the dogs, take them out to play in our gated area for dogs that we have in the office. And that, it's just some cool things that we try to link with our brand right back into the community. People love pets. So doing things like that, sponsoring different events at the humane societies and the different organizations throughout the community that pertain to pets, just linking up with them, seeing what they need, and then talking about it. Everyone's scared to talk about what they're doing in the community because I feel like it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy or something. And it's like, it's not that. Our goal with talking about it is that these organizations don't have marketing dollars.
Right.
We are their marketing dollars, right? We're their marketing arm to be able to tell their story. And it happens to be through the vehicle of our followers at Bone Dry Roofing. So those are some of the fun things. We have 2 big LED trucks that we will take to different HOAs. We'll take in parades if they want movie nights. We'll buy the rights to a movie and play it in their HOA for their entire community.
Oh, that's super cool.
There are just some things that we try to do to stand out a little bit, that because of our size, it allows us to.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be a massive company to be involved in your community.
Yeah, for sure. So I love some things you just said. One of them is that about your mascot that you have. And even that, I mean, it is an investment to have, of course, to invest in your branding
Yep.
and to invest in a mascot, but there's so many fun things that you can do with a mascot when it comes to social media, when it comes to in-person events, when it comes to being at the schools, going to the youth game in dressed as the mascot. Like, and I think y'all's is a furry mascot, right? There's also like blow up mascots. There's so many different levels that you can invest in this at. So I think that's a really cool thing to consider, especially if you have a mascot. And then I love that you said the talking about it on your social media, and you're so right. Like, some people feel uncomfortable doing that. And I always like to turn it around and just say, like, you're doing them a disservice when you don't talk about it. Like, you're bringing, not only are you bringing attention to the organization whenever you're sharing about it on your social, because people are excited to read about it. It usually gets a lot of engagement. It gets shared. It gets out there, but you're also inspiring other people to not only support this organization, but know that this is an option for them as a business owner or other people in your industry. Like, there's just so much good that can come out of it.
Absolutely. It's interesting because usually when we have like a microchipping event, we say, we'll take care of the registration. Just get us a link. So we'll get a link from them that, that customers can go to and register. And we simply do a social media push. We'll put a couple $100 in a boosted post, and within a day we have 400 spots generally filled.
Yeah. How cool is that?
It's just by connecting with people, right? And putting a couple $100 behind it. And yes, we get brand recognition because we're sponsoring the event or we're hosting the event. But listen, at the end of the day, you're helping future lost dogs get found. If it's a vaccine, being able to help them be healthier, and if it's an adoption event, helping them find their forever home.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Dogs and kids always do well on social in marketing. So talk a little bit about like the difference between, or how you're focused between digital and in-person marketing.
Yeah. So I feel like as an industry, we've done a really interesting job of over-rotating, and we've done a terrible job of over-rotating to digital, right? Man, I love the trackability of it and all of it. And trust me, I'm a digital marketer first. And I love the trackability of digital marketing. But it didn't take me long in the career to understand that your top of mind awareness makes digital so much more efficient from a dollar perspective. But also it allows you to be able to constantly be getting into people that aren't your customers yet. And that when you talk about return on marketing spend, return on ad spend, it's all focused on the customers that you've acquired, right? But top of mind is more than that. It's creating relationships that you haven't acquired yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we just need to be focused on as a marketing community, essentially group, is that we just constantly make sure that we're watching the mix, making sure we're not over rotating to digital, but we're still investing in community events. We're still doing top of mind awareness as we can afford it. To be able to build strategic brands so that you're not always reliant on the typical digital marketing strategy.
Yeah, especially because it's changing so much. And and the thing about in-person stuff is that it is a lot of times less of an investment. And so, and I mean, monetarily, it probably takes more of your time and more of your effort and a little bit more planning. I know a lot of people, when I talk to them and ask them, especially like to figure out if we would work well together, is how often they're being involved in the community, because it makes for great social media content. And so it's a good thing to talk about. And so many people are like, I wish more, like I should be more. And it's like, okay, we should make that a goal. Then like that should be on your calendar, or have somebody in charge of it if you're not doing it. So
you can do it. You can literally do it, and it doesn't cost much.
Yeah. Unless you are a marketer in the trades, then it's actually a heavy investment to be involved in any in-person marketing, any in-person event, even just getting there. It always is, but it is, it's one of the most valuable things that I can do for my business. So I know it's the same for any business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I want to shift to what you guys are doing with AI. And I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but you should know if anybody's talking about anything, they're talking about AI.
Being
But
AI.
like, what are you guys doing internally, in whether it's in marketing or not, to start integrating AI into your internal operations?
Yeah, I think we're doing it more strategically. It's not, hey, let's make everything AI, right? It's not,
Yeah.
let's have every phone call be an AI answering. I'm sure I'm going to get flack for this, but let's do AI everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan out of the gate because if from the perspective of the customer experience,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan if we talk about our people.
Yeah.
Someone calls and they don't get a person.
Mm-hmm.
I think after hours answering service, it's a great solution for it.
Yeah.
It's either talk to a bot that you created that at least can talk about your brand, your office hours, all this stuff, or they go to an after hour answering service that may get a prompt. And it could be a negative or positive interaction depending on that person's day.
Mm-hmm.
I think for that, it's a great solution, but just from my perspective as owning the brand within the company and being responsible and the steward of that brand, I think it's important that if we talk about our people so much, if we talk about that experience so much, let's have them talk to them. Because I think it's going to be a differentiator. Now, I think when we're talking about our e-leads process, which are any electronically transmitted leads, so think website forms, Google local service messages, Facebook ads, things of that nature. I think you can have bots to some level, but it's not going to be to the complete, because I want someone before we book that call to review all the information, make sure that customer is 100% confident in everything that they've experienced so far, and then complete that booking process. So I may come across a little old school in some of that, but I think it's important when we're talking about the customer experience side. What's the promise that we've made to our customers?
Yeah.
Everything should filter through that.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think in terms of efficiencies, right, of creating content or running content through it as a filter to make sure your brand voice is on point, to make sure that your key messaging is on point, all of that stuff. I think that's great. I think what it can do from an efficiency perspective is phenomenal for a business. I think it can take things that are very rudimentary and very methodical, take those and make them get completed more quickly. I think that's great. But when it comes to the customer experience, we better be doing what we promised.
So you guys are using automations and AI to be more efficient, and and I think like that. I think sometimes just as it's funny, I told you this episode will probably be released in like 2 months, and everybody's going to have everything's going to be different by then. But I think that what is interesting is that when we ask people about AI, there's like so many. It's such a broad like word that it's like, well, what sense are we talking about? Because there's AI and algorithms and automations built into so many things that we use and that we're already implementing. I was recently at Service Titan Pantheon, and they were unveiling their AI like friend, like kind of like Alexa or Chat GPT, but directly built into the Service Titan software. And that type of AI is super cool because it's like able to it knows like what goals are, and then it figures them out based on the data that it has. And that's really cool. And that's so much more advanced than, I mean, yes, of course, like an AI answering service, we would want it to be able to get into our CRM also and be able to answer questions based on data that it has. But having that sort of support as we all continue to evolve with this is going to be super cool.
Well, right. I view AI as an efficiency tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Professionally, like for a call center, they shouldn't have to listen to every call. Let's identify the calls that have opportunity for improvement. Let's get a team lead so that they can then walk through it with their team members.
Yeah.
I think that's a great case of it. I think they're
Correct.
looking at sentiment scores, all of these different things. That's important. And I think that really helps you move the company forward. But in terms of, I'm really protective over that customer experience, and I'm not sold there. I'm not specifically when we tend to serve an older clientele.
Oh yeah.
It's
my mom is always like, these answering services need to have a button for people my age to click so that I can just get to a person. And I'm like,
I want to
get it.
Human.
But I think we all do. Like, I feel the same way. I'm constantly like, oh my God, like what you're telling, like, like the set things, like how many people can set menus actually serve? Like very few. If your set menu can serve me, I could have done it on the app, and I'm now calling you because I can't do it on the app anymore. That's why I'm calling you. So
I'm with you.
I know. I get it. So we got to figure that part out. It'll get easier.
It'll get there.
So the last thing that I wanted to ask around marketing is there any like cool offer or campaign or something just that went really well? I know you guys use some automations, you have a lot of outreach, you do a lot of commercials, like something that you were like, this was a great marketing campaign that we came up with and it worked really well. Or maybe like we had the best idea ever and it didn't move the needle the way we thought.
I would say if it comes down to campaign, our most recent one that I've really enjoyed is the Your Roof, Our Reputation. That's kind of been a campaign, and really it was more of a slogan that we were going with, and just promoting it across, TV and on OTT and with billboards, and it all came from a meeting that I had with Gene where he said, that's more than our roof up there, that's our reputation.
Yeah.
And that really kind of stuck with me, and we eventually turned it into a campaign. We're not a big offer-based company. We're kind of the antithesis of it. We don't have our prices marked up 20% so we can drop them 20% on a promotion or anything of that nature. By the way, that works for companies. Yeah, it doesn't work for us. And we've really got honest pricing out of the gate, right? That we really want to make sure that we have a conversation around. And I can't tell you that we've had an offer that just absolutely blown it out of the hit it out of the ballpark, but it's more about what your messaging is across all the platforms and making sure that you're embracing it and you're utilizing it and you're not contradicting it. But most importantly, making sure operations is fulfilling that promise you make. Yeah.
And when you build a brand, you're able to charge more or charge whatever you need to because people want to work with you because they want to work with your brand. It doesn't have much else to do with anything. And like I experienced that when we invested in our HVAC system. I knew exactly who we were going to hire because of their branding. And I mean, as a marketer, I'm super hyper aware of that. Like I know that it was their branding that made me feel like that, but it's also a really cool thing to be like, nope, this is who we're going to buy it from. Like if we're going to invest that much money, this is who we're going to do it with. And that just allows you so much more.
Well, and I think what people don't realize is that the companies that have created that brand, they've generally created a process on the operations side of it, which has allowed them to put more dollars into their marketing because they know they have the operations dialed in. And we call it the bone dry way. And that's how we install a roof. It's very specific to how we do all the flashing, how many nails we put into each shingle, which side we cut on the shingle. There is a process that Gene's crafted over 36 years of roofing. His parents were both roofers. He's been in this industry. He's seen it. He's just created this process of how we really want to do it real way. Why I came on board here wasn't because it was a marketing machine. I came on board here because operationally it had a process that I believed in, and I could say that's a story I can tell. Yeah, that's important from a marketing perspective. You have to, in order for marketing to be successful, your operations absolutely has to be dialed in, and that goes from call center, that goes to the sales process, and that goes down to the way in which we complete the work. and even identifying, hey, here's our We Care sales process, and walking people through the different layers of a roof and the products that we use and the materials that we use and the services that the level of service that they'll provide and all of that. Like each one is something special. That's a differentiator, and that's meaningful. You just need a good marketer to tell the story.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like you can't put lipstick on a pig.
No,
that makes marketers' job impossible.
Right. You cannot outmarket a bad reputation.
Exactly. I love
Some
that.
tried, but it's pretty
no, yeah, they all try.
Right.
But no one listening to this does that. You
Right.
guys all have your operations in check. Okay, so you're here on the Kee To Growth podcast. So the last question I ask everybody on this podcast is, what is the key to growth?
Marketing and operations alignment. That's it.
Yeah.
So there's no silver bullet. I wish
No.
one always asks, and there's not. But you have to have that marketing and operations alignment. Otherwise, the marketing will fall on deaf ears.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so if my dog got into something else. Of course, so we're here with Bone Dry. So if people want to find you, learn more about you or Bone Dry, where should they go?
Yeah, company-wise, bonedry.com. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. If people want, I keep Facebook. It's more personal. It's kids and stuff like that. But when it comes to LinkedIn, that's generally where I post more business type content, ideas, things like that. And it's just Matthew Tyner.
Love it. Thank you so much for being here. I think this was great.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks.